Good evening, mystery seekers. Welcome back to Unfiltered Reality, where we explore the cases that refuse to be forgotten. Tonight's story isn't just about murder. It's about a mind that taunted police, manipulated the media, and left behind puzzles that continue to challenge experts over half a century later. This is the story of the Zodiac Killer. Northern California, 1968. A time of cultural revolution, peace movements, and youth rebellion. But beneath the optimism of the era, something far darker was beginning to stir. On December 20th, 1968, teenagers David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen parked on a quiet lover's lane near Vallejo. Minutes later, gunshots shattered the silence. Betty Lou was found dead outside the car. David died beside the vehicle. No witnesses, no suspects, just an execution-style attack that would become the first confirmed Zodiac killing. At the time, police believed it was an isolated tragedy. They were wrong. 7 months later, July 4th, 1969. Another couple, Darlene Farron and Michael Majot, sat in a parked car at Blue Rock Springs Park. A man approached their vehicle, shined a flashlight into their eyes, and opened fire. Darlene died. Michael survived. But this time, something new happened. A man called the police. "I want to report a double murder." The caller calmly described the crime and even confessed to the earlier killings. For the first time, the killer spoke directly to the authorities. But he wasn't finished. In August 1969, 3 newspapers received letters from a man claiming responsibility. Each envelope contained 1/3 of a coded message, a cipher. The writer demanded they be printed on the front page, or he would go on a kill rampage. The newspapers complied, and just like that, the killer gave himself a name: Zodiac. The 408 symbol cipher was quickly solved by a schoolteacher and his wife. The message read like a chilling manifesto: "I like killing people because it is so much fun." It was the beginning of a psychological war between one man and an entire nation. September 27th, 1969. A quiet afternoon at Lake Berryessa. College students Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard relaxed by the shore. Then a hooded figure approached them, wearing a black executioner's mask marked with a strange symbol, a circle crossed with lines. The Zodiac had arrived in costume. He tied them up and stabbed them repeatedly. Cecilia died 2 days later. Brian survived long enough to describe his attacker in horrifying detail. Before leaving, the killer wrote on the couple's car door, listing his previous murders like trophies. Just weeks later, October 11th, 1969. San Francisco taxi driver Paul Stein picked up a passenger. When they reached their destination, the passenger shot him in the head, tore a piece of his shirt, and calmly walked away into the night. This time, witnesses saw him. Police even stopped a man matching the description, but due to a radio miscommunication, they let him go. The Zodiac had slipped through their fingers. Over the next few years, the Zodiac Killer continued to send letters, some containing new ciphers, others filled with threats. He demanded his symbol be worn as buttons by the public. He claimed responsibility for dozens of murders, though only 5 have ever been confirmed. Some of his ciphers remain unsolved to this day, but one of the most famous, the 340 cipher, remained a mystery for over 50 years, until 2020, when a team of codebreakers finally cracked it. The message revealed a chilling tone: no remorse, no fear, only arrogance. The Zodiac believed he would never be caught. And for decades, he was right. So who was the Zodiac Killer? Over the years, investigators and amateur sleuths have proposed dozens of suspects. Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted offender, was long considered the prime suspect. His behavior, his location, even his watch brand bearing the name Zodiac seemed to align. But DNA evidence did not conclusively link him. Other theories point to Lawrence Kane, a man with a criminal background and possible ties to the locations. Some believe the killer had military training due to his precision and knowledge of codes. Others think he may have worked in law enforcement or the media. But no theory has ever been proven. What makes the Zodiac case so haunting isn't just the murders. It's the performance, the letters, the symbols, the games. This wasn't just a killer. It was a storyteller, a manipulator of fear, a ghost who turned terror into theater. Even today, the Zodiac's legacy lives on. Online communities continue to analyze his messages. New suspects still emerge. Documentaries, films, and books attempt to solve what law enforcement could not. Because somewhere in those letters, somewhere in those codes, the truth may still be hiding. Or perhaps, the Zodiac's final message was the mystery itself. More than 50 years later, the Zodiac Killer remains unidentified. His crimes changed how law enforcement handles serial cases. His ciphers changed how we think about communication and control. But the biggest question remains unanswered. Who was he? And why did he stop? Was he caught for another crime? Did he die? Or did he simply choose to disappear, satisfied that he had already won? What do you think? Was the Zodiac Killer one of the known suspects, or someone we've never even considered? Could the final cipher still hold a hidden clue? Or is this one mystery destined to remain unsolved forever? If this story kept you watching until the end, share it with someone who loves true crime mysteries. Next time, we uncover one of Europe's darkest legends, Jack the Ripper. Until then, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, some mysteries never want to be solved.